Hey, this is Jerry Akin at Pierce Chapel. Thank you for joining me for this meditation moment. How much time do you spend reflecting on the heaviness, the seriousness of your sin? Well, maybe your response would be, I don't really think about that because I know that God is gracious. And so I rely heavily on His grace, and I don't get bogged down by thinking about the heaviness and the weight of my sin. Okay, well, how much time do you spend reflecting on the goodness of God's grace, the depth, the wonder of His grace? I would contend that you can't fully reflect on that unless you first understand the heaviness and the weight of your sin. As believers who have been redeemed by His grace, by the blood of His Son Jesus, we owe it to Him and to ourselves to reflect on both of these. If you look at the book of Romans, it's a wonderful book written by Paul. You see the agony, the internal agony that he is going through as he is writing it. He is reflecting on the weight of his sin. He says things like, "Wretched man that I am, who will save me from this curse?" He talks about how he wants to do good, but he can't do it. And the things that he wants to avoid, he ends up doing it. And you can just hear the desperation in his words. He is reflecting on the heaviness and the weight of his own sin. But it's because of that he can go on just a chapter or two later in the verse and talk about the depth of God's love and God's grace. Unfortunately, we err so often on one side or the other. Either we just get bogged down in guilt and shame. We reflect on the heaviness of our sins so much that we don't even make room for the wonder and power of God's grace. Or we just take that grace for granted and never really think about what it is saving us from. There has to be a balance there. Let's spend some time today, this week, reflecting on the weight of our sin, how wretched we truly are without God's grace, and not for the sake of guilt or shame, but for the sake of just simply marveling at how big and how good God is, and just how wonderful and amazing His grace is.